I've seen a lot of statistics around the actual percentage of power globally that data centers use. And I've seen it, this one, 15% is on the high end. I've seen lower statistics, but it almost doesn't matter because the point is it's a very significant part of global power being consumed by data centers. A couple interesting facts that I found on the internet recently. Everybody's very familiar with Google, and I'm sure everyone uses Google search every day. And you might be surprised to hear that one Google search that you might do consumes anywhere between 2 and 8 kilowatt hours of energy and emits 7 grams of CO2. So that's a surprising number when you think about it, especially in light of if you were here a little while ago hearing about the things you can do to save a couple watts of power on a PC through power management. So there's about 400 million Google searches a day. So I'll do the math for you. That's a little under 2 billion kilowatt hours of energy daily just to do basic search queries on Google. That's pretty amazing, right? One other fun fact, I think, according to an EPA study that I'm sure many of you are familiar with, it was a pretty seminal study done in 2007, servers and data centers consumed about 61 billion kilowatt hours of power. And that's the equivalent of just under 6 million U.S. households consumption, and we're obviously in the U.S. known for pretty heavy household consumption as well. And that number doubled between 2000 and 2006, and was expected, and in fact has doubled now by 2011. So that's a total cost of about $7.5 billion in power alone. So obviously these numbers are staggering, and therefore, I think we're all here because we realize that we have both an opportunity and a responsibility to change that, right, and to do something about that. And again, the goal here, along with being sustainable and green, is to have efficient, high-density, reduced power, very available, very reliable data centers. So this is just an interesting, chart I like to put up when you look at why are data centers getting so big and so dense, and why do they need to be so much more efficient? And it's really, the proliferation of digital devices in the world, right? So along with the big consumer data centers like the Googles of the world, the Facebooks of the world, even in the business world, we're seeing these same types of drivers. And the proliferation of these devices is having a profound effect on networks and data centers in terms of size and scale. It amazes me how few IT leaders actually pay their own power bills or know what the power bills for their data centers are. And before we decided to build our new data center and get involved with that, I didn't know either, and somebody else paid the bill. So if you don't know what something costs, you might not care as much as if you're the one paying the bill, right? So I don't know how many of you are from IT organizations, but if you were and asked for a show of hands, my guess is maybe 10%, 20% of IT organizations actually are responsible for their own power bill. It's usually facilities or someone else in the company who's responsible for that. So one of the things that I recommend is that if you're in an IT organization, that you become really good friends with your facilities organization, and you begin to understand what power is really costing you, both to run the data center and, frankly, your telecommunications, your desktops, et cetera, and that you jointly have a goal to reduce that. And becoming one of the best things that happened to us as we built out our new data center was really that we had the opportunity to collaborate much more closely with our facilities organization and of course our own, being Panduit, our own R&D organization, and we're able to do some pretty amazing things by working together with that common goal of becoming more energy efficient and sustainable.